You know that awful sinking feeling when you realize you've been scammed?
Oh, yeah. It's terrible. Not
Yeah.
just the money, but the feeling. Right.
Exactly. The violation, feeling foolish. But then imagine someone pops up claiming they can actually get your money back.
Ah, that glimmer of hope.
Yeah, that flicker. It's powerful. And, well, that's exactly the vulnerability scammers are now exploiting, according to a new FBI warning.
It's really quite chilling, a kind of predatory evolution. We're seeing scammers specifically targeting people who've already been victims of financial fraud.
Already victims. Wow.
Yes. The FBI put out an alert about this trend, people pretending to be employees from the Internet Crime Complaint Center, IC3.
Okay, IC3. Right.
But they're not real IC3 folks. They're fakes, offering help to recover funds, but it's just another scam.
So let me get this straight. Someone's already lost money, feeling awful, and then these scammers show up pretending to be the cavalry, offering a fake lifeline.
That's precisely it. It's like kicking someone when they're down and then offering a hand up, only to pull them down further.
Yeah. And the FBI is seeing a lot of this.
They mentioned tracking over 100 reports just in the last couple of years, so roughly December 2023 through February of this year, 2025.
That's quite specific. And 100 reports is significant. That's a lot of people being targeted again.
It is. And they're adaptable, too. It's not just one method.
How are they making contact then?
All sorts of ways, actually. You're
Yeah.
talking email, phone calls, but also social media, even online forums.
Forums like support groups for fraud victims.
Exactly. Places where people who've been scammed might gather. They infiltrate these spaces.
That's incredibly calculating.
It is. And the bait, almost every time, is this promise. Either they claim they've already recovered the victim's funds, or they offer to help get them back.
For someone who's lost money, I imagine that sounds almost like a miracle. Hard to resist.
Absolutely. It taps right into that psychological element. Loss aversion, right?
Yeah.
The pain of the first loss makes people maybe more willing to take a chance, even on something slightly off, if it means getting their money back.
Hope overriding skepticism.
Precisely. It's classic social engineering. Manipulating trust, manipulating hope.
And you mentioned social media. Are there specific tactics there?
Yeah, the FBI alert highlighted one example. Scammers creating fake profiles, often female profiles, on social media.
Okay.
These fake profiles then join groups for financial fraud victims. They pose as fellow victims.
Oh, wow. To build trust from the inside.
Exactly. It leverages that sense of shared experience, that community feeling. People let their guard down because they think they're talking to someone who understands, someone who's been through it too.
That's really insidious. Gaining credibility that way.
It really is. And then, sometimes, they introduce this persona, Jamie Quinn,
Jamie Quinn.
supposedly the chief director of IC3. This name keeps popping up.
And how does that connection happen?
Often the conversation moves off the social media platform, maybe to an app like Telegram. And this Jamie Quinn figure claims they've already recovered the money.
Right. Sounds too good to be true, which usually means.
It is, absolutely. That claim of recovered funds, it's pure fiction. It's the hook.
The hook to get what? More money.
Or financial information. Bank details, personal info, anything they can use for more fraud. It's just a setup for the next scam, using the legitimacy of a government agency name to make it believable.
Okay, this is crucial then. For anyone listening, especially if they've unfortunately been scammed before, what are the absolute red flags? How do they protect themselves from this second wave?
Rule number one, absolutely critical. Never, ever share sensitive personal or financial info with someone you've only met online or who contacted you out of the blue. Doesn't matter who they claim to be.
Bank accounts, social security numbers, passwords, nothing.
Nothing. And definitely don't send money.
Right. No gift cards, no cryptocurrency transfers, no wire transfers, none of that.
Exactly. No matter how convincing the story sounds. Because here's the key thing about the real IC3. They will never just call you or email you or message you on social media or some app to offer help recovering funds.
Okay, that's a clear line. Unsolicited contact like that is fake.
It's an immediate major red flag. Also, the real IC3 won't ask you for money to get your stolen funds back.
They won't charge a fee.
No. And they won't refer you to some other company that does charge a fee for recovery services. If anyone asks for payment to recover your losses, it's a scam. Full stop.
Got it. No unsolicited contact, no requests for personal info, no fees.
That's the core of it.
Yeah.
And, this fits into a wider pattern we've seen for a while.
Impersonation scams in general.
Exactly. Scammers pretending to be from the IRS, Social Security, other law enforcement. They spoof phone numbers to make the caller ID look legit. They might even have fake badges or credentials sometimes.
So that general skepticism towards unsolicited calls from authority figures is really important.
Extremely important. And this isn't just a U.S. problem either.
Oh, really? It's happening elsewhere.
Yeah, there was a case recently, I think in Spain. The Spanish National Police arrested people doing something very similar.
What was their angle?
They were targeting victims of crypto scams,
Mm-hmm.
posing as Europol agents or even lawyers from the UK.
Right.
And they were demanding payment for supposed tax costs before the recovered crypto could be released. Same basic trick, different flavor.
Wow, so it's a global tactic, exploiting that same hope.
It really underscores how widespread this is. The playbook is similar. Find victims, offer fake recovery, ask for money or info.
You know, reading about this, I saw a comment online somewhere that sort of, well, it hit home. Someone pointed out that people who fall for scams once are sometimes sadly more vulnerable to being scammed again.
That's a very astute observation, unfortunately often true. The initial scam can leave people feeling desperate, maybe grasping at straws.
Makes them more susceptible to these recovery offers.
Potentially, yes. That desire to undo the damage can be very strong. And the commenter also noted this recovery scam isn't brand new, but maybe it's intensifying now.
Yeah, that was the sense, like it's being used more actively.
It could be. Maybe scammers are just getting better at identifying and targeting previous victims. Or maybe the tools they use make it easier. It definitely raises questions about how we support people who've been victimized, maybe repeatedly.
It's all just a stark reminder, isn't it? Vigilance is key. Healthy skepticism, especially with unsolicited offers. Which brings me to our sponsor. This deep dive is brought to you by Stonefly.
Right.
They're a leader in enterprise storage, backup and disaster recovery, AI storage, and cloud solutions. And if you're concerned about security, maybe ransomware, Stonefly actually sells air-gapped and immutable storage solutions. Really robust stuff.
That sounds highly relevant in today's threat landscape. Secure storage is critical.
Absolutely. You can contact them at sales@stonefly.com to schedule a demo if that's something your organization needs.
Good to know. And yeah, the whole recovery scam thing, the layers of deception are just
Yeah.
disheartening, preying on people when they're already down.
It really is. It underlines why awareness is so important, recognizing these schemes. So, if we were to boil it down, the main takeaway today is be incredibly cautious. If someone contacts you out of the blue claiming they can get back money you lost to fraud, be suspicious. Highly suspicious.
Question everything about that interaction.
Exactly. Don't give info, don't send money. And remember, the real IC3 won't operate that way. Oh, and just another reminder, if secure ransomware-proof storage is on your mind, check out Stonefly. They offer air-gapped and immutable storage, leading solutions in enterprise storage and DR. Again, that's sales@stonefly.com for a demo.
Right. And you know, this whole situation, it kind of makes you think about trust online, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, in a world where it's getting harder and harder to know who or what to trust online,
Mm-hmm.
how do we actually equip ourselves? How do we get better at discerning, genuine help from these really malicious tricks?
Yeah,
What are those critical thinking skills we need?
that's a really big question and a vital one. How do we build that resilience, that critical filter?
Exactly. Something to really mull over.
Indeed. A powerful thought to end on. Thanks for joining us for this important deep dive today.